Hi guys, it is Thursday, February 13th. No, Friday, February 13th. Friday the 13th. How could I forget? I'm nervous, and you're going to know in a little bit why. So yeah, Psyche coming at you again, and I am making this video to fulfill what I hope and pray is my final task. It's one that I've known was coming for months and months, and I've been avoiding like the plague because for me this is probably the hardest, well, I guess, I don't know, at least one of the hardest parts of this whole experience, and that is owning up to how I, as God, your prime creator, I'm tempted to say fucked you guys over, because to me, as Heather, that's kind of what it feels like, but I also have come to know, without a shadow of a doubt, that there is a divine plan for everything, so I don't need to feel ashamed, and I don't need to feel guilty about the choices as your creator that I've made. Your souls agreed to this experience, like, wholeheartedly. And you could even say that there are souls in the universe who are envious of you for having to have this experience of being on Earth at this particular moment in time, this grand experience of human evolution. It's profound and it's beautiful and it's exciting. It's a wild ride, so buckle up, but don't ever be scared, because it all ends in a good place, because I love you guys so much, that I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you arrive back at home safely. Whatever it takes. How long it takes you to get there and how bumpy the road is ultimately up to you. You as your being here on the third dimension and the choices that you make, given your free will, in conjunction with your higher self, your oversoul, if you will, your guardian angel of yourself and your twin flame that are, you can kind of think of it like this is the video game and we are the Sims, and our, the human beings are back there on a higher dimension with the joysticks or whatever those controllers are, what the fuck you call them these days. Atari flashback, sorry. That this is not the reality. This is a game that you chose to play, and it feels so real right now. I know, because I am living that, but the higher dimensional awareness that I've been gifted allows me to perceive things from a different perspective, and I know that this is just like a little blip on the radar. And if I could encourage you to not take it too seriously, I know easier said than done, but it's just life. It's just a game. And no matter what, you're going to be okay. You will be. And not just okay, like way better than okay. Things are going to get awesome to a degree that is difficult to even conceive of as a human being, but it's going to happen. Hang in there. So, great. my task is to explain how I screwed you over, or not, but you could look at this duality consciousness experiment on Earth as chaos, prime creator, me, understanding the universe in all of these disparate ways, and this was just an adventure to have. It was a game for Cupid and Psyche, well, for Chaos and Eros to play, so that I could exercise some of my more negative traits. It's like all about cleansing the sins of the father. Very much like on Earth as human beings, each successive generation hopefully learns from the mistakes of their parents and the ones that came before, and all parents want their children to do better and be happier. Or, unfortunately, in our culture, maybe more successful, which doesn't necessarily equate to happy. Happy should always supersede any kind of material success, because that is fleeting. As C.S. Lewis said, don't ever link your happiness to something that you may lose. Happiness has to come from love and joy and creation and experience and growth and transformation, not objects. Or even sometimes relationships. I've had to learn that as well. You cannot define yourself through other people. We have to define ourselves through ourselves. I know codependence is endemic to our society. We've been conditioned to believe that being selfless looks like putting everybody else's needs before your own, when in actuality, the best thing that you can do for the people that you love is to take care of yourself. That's why on airplanes, they tell you that you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on your child, because you're no good if you pass out while you're trying to put the mask on the kid. We have to take care of ourselves first in order to then truly be able to love and take care of other people. And I was a total codependent enabler kind of person my whole life. It's only recently that I've come to arrive at these truths. I go through all these things so that hopefully I can share the message with you. Not to say I'm like, the first to learn these things, or, this is any kind of like mind-blowing, earth-shattering kind of epiphany. This is just the kind of standard stuff you'd hear from people who are enlightened or have done self-reflection, self-actualization, whatever you want to call it. I just happened to learn all of it in short order and quite by fire. I don't know how else to put it. But, okay, so, as Eve, when Psyche and Cupid also came here as Adam and Eve, and I was the one to eat the apple, the serpent being a reflection ultimately of my own self, my shadow side. We all have. And that's as reflections of God, as reflections of the human psyche. Every individual human being possesses the same capacity for good and evil as your maker does. There is no perfection. Arguably, there's no good nor bad. There just is what is. That's something I've known intellectually for a while, but I've only come to terms with in a like truly understanding it in my heart way recently, like in the past maybe few days, to fully surrender to what is. I externalized evil for a long time. I mean, in the beginning of my unfoldment, my awakening, as I said before, I came through it, as many people do, through the dark side, through learning about the Federal Reserve and 9/11, and then, you know, blah, 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 conspiracy theories. Holy shit, the world is run by Luciferians, the Illuminati, and it's fucking overwhelming and can be quite frightening when you're learning about it, and your cognitive dissonance is just being, you know, blasted away at. But then the other side of that coin that you can come to is the realization that there is a God, that there is a higher being through whichever means you may find that, and that there is a grand plan, a divine plan for balance and harmony in the universe. And then you can realize that it's kind of I'd read it put really well once about you can't have too much good, because if everything was good, it would lead to stagnation. We just wouldn't do anything. If there was too much evil in the equation, then it would lead to destruction. So what you need is a balance. As I say over and over again, it all comes back to the yin and the yang. So maybe like on Earth, a 51 good, 49 bad, evil is a nice balance to have, because it's something against which the darkness is something against which the light can grow and have something to work against, to grow and transform and create and evolve, because that's what we came